Welcome students to part 4 of unit 2. Here we are going to discuss about an important aspect in organizations called training. It's also about industrial training which draws heavily on many psychological principles, and it has become increasingly important at all levels of our organizational hierarchy. Most training programs in industry actually today draw heavily upon psychologists' knowledge of general learning principles. So, the main objective of any industrial training program is to make the maximum utilization of an individual's resources, his intelligence, his skills, his abilities, his interest. So, what exactly is training? Training refers to the process of imparting skills and knowledge. It is an act of increasing the knowledge and skills of employees for doing a particular job in a better way. It also includes improving physical and mental abilities necessary for a specific job. So, training is a very important aspect when it comes to improving the physical and mental abilities of an individual. So, why there is an importance of training in organizations? Training plays an essential part in organizational development. It is an essential component of any organization. Recognizing the importance of training, organizations have given much importance to the component of training by spending huge amount of money on the conduct of trainings. Here are a list of the useful ways of training. It increases the industrial morale of employees. It creates better industrial relations between the employer and the employee. Training reduces the task of managers, supervisors, and team leaders. Training helps in efficient utilization of the available resources like men, material, machinery, and all. Training helps to cope with the new technology and technological updates. Training reduces the learning time. Training also improves the quality of work. It also gives higher productivity or output. Training also enhances the industrial safety of employees. It's a type of an effective management system. It reduces labor turnovers and also reduces absenteeism in organizations. Therefore, there will be staff stability. It improves job satisfaction among employees, and it can actually bring a change in the employees. So, these are the important aspects of training. But let us now understand what are the various types of training. Basic literacy skills training is also there, where the workers are labored to acquire basic reading and math skills. There are other types like interpersonal skills improvement and problem solving skills, and also training to develop ethics. So let us now discuss in detail about these types of training which are listed on the slide. First one is orientation training, vestibule training, on the job training, apprentice training, supervisor or management training. First one is orientation training. It is also called as induction training. The main purpose of orientation training is to acquaint the employees with the company, and it has been found very useful in building an adequate image of the organization in the new as well as present employees of the company. It consists mainly in providing sufficient information to the employees concerning its history, products, services, policies, and how it functions. What are the rights and duties of employees? It is very useful in creating a favorable attitude in the new employees who comes as a stranger to the company and often finds its setup overwhelming. An induction program or an orientation program consists of the following, like it includes history, it includes the products and their use, the way the company functions, the company plant, factory, and the department rules, the safety precautions to be observed, the job, hours of work, rest periods, pay scale, payday, and pay increase, the place of work with relevant facilities, the transport facilities, counseling and health services, training programs and relevant information, and also it introduces to the colleagues and supervisors in the organization. So this is about orientation training. Going further, let us now understand what is vestibular training. This type of training is given mainly for developing the various skills required by the company in its employees. It differs from other training in that it is generally arranged outside the actual job setup. In most such situations, the job situation is duplicated or simulated in a small place, usually attached to the company. The intention of this type of training is to impart with greater facility the required skills to the employees. Now, the third one is on the job training. It is also known as refresher training. It is given in an actual job. It is systematic, well planned, and organized training given to train new employees or retain some old employees. This may be done either by the supervisor or maybe a special appointed trainers. Going further, the fourth one is apprentice training. It is another area of training which requires considerable planning and foresight. Is that of training skilled tradesmen. There are several such trades in industry which require highly sophisticated skills, such as we find carpentry, drilling, boring, planning, and host of other industrial jobs and operations. These skills these skills can be achieved by making a trainee apprentice work under a skilled tradesman for a specific time. And the last one is supervisory or management training, or it is also called as management development training. Such trainings may range from personal counseling to subsidized university courses. Their content may also range from acquiring reading skills to developing right type of attitudes, and managers need thorough and continuing orientation regarding company policies, supervisory skills in handling many face-to-face situations encouraged in daily work. He needs knowledge of scientific management, principles of effective planning, organization, and execution of company policies. So these are the various types of training. Some methods of management training are lectures, discussions, program learning, case study methods, role playing, in basket training, human relations training, problem solving interview, group problem solving, sensitivity training, management games, creativity training, and sound motion picture. Now, how can we prepare a training program? There are few guidelines which are to be drawn so that a good and effective training program can be developed. So, what are the guidelines or the rules? The first one is motivation is the basic condition for training of any sort. No training program can ignore motivation. The number of units or lessons to be taught should be thoughtfully planned. The amount to be learned in a unit must be neither too large nor too simple. No training is complete within itself. The amount to be learned should be always related to the job performance or the objectives of training. The task to be performed should not be described, it should be demonstrated in actual or simulated conditions. This is especially true of many industrial skills, where doing is important than mere hearing or seeing. The demonstration should be followed by the learner doing the operations before he has forgotten what he has seen. A discussion of questions or feedback should follow the demonstration as well as the lessons. Ample practice opportunity should also be provided. If a trainee is given a feedback of his performance as frequently and accurately, it can speed up learning process. and in turn motivates the learner greatly. The training should be taken to the point where trainee reaches the criterion required on the actual job. It should never left unfinished. So these are few guidelines which followed can develop an effective training program for the employees. But how can we develop a training program? There are three actual steps in developing a training program. So, as in many other personal functions, the main role of industrial psychologist is that of a consultant. His major contribution is in the development and installation and evaluation of a training program. He may also undertake applied research on such programs. Development of training program illustrates the fundamental specific procedures of defining the problem, formulating the hypothesis, testing the hypothesis under controlled conditions. A training program can be summarized into three major headings. First one is task analysis, second one is development of training procedures, and third one is evaluation of training program. What is task analysis? The purpose of task analysis is to determine the content of the training program. In task analysis, the operations are generally broken down into finer units. Through task analysis, it should be possible to determine whether some activities require little training or more training or intensive training. The second type here is development of a training program where actual development happens. Development of training program, once we know what must be learned, the next step is to determine how it should be taught. And this is the concern not only of the choice of training method but also decisions regarding many other aspects of the training procedure, such as how to motivate the learners, how to distribute learning over time, how to inform learner regarding his performance and progress, and also how to ensure maximal transfer of training to job performance. Last but not the least, the last method is evaluation of the training program, how effective the training program was. In evaluation of the effectiveness of training methods, several delicate problems usually arise. The most important one is the criteria used by evaluation. Research work has already indicated that several good criteria are evaluable to evaluate the effectiveness of training. But here, few are the important aspects which actually show that the training program was effective. When the results show that better quality of production is there, increase in the number of job operators who pass the job standards, reduction in time required to do the job, decrease in breakable supplies or tools, decrease in absenteeism, reduction in operational cost, reduction in wastage, better performance of trained persons on personal appraisal methods and such as rating scales, attitude surveys, and tests. So therefore, these are the various ways we can find that training was effective. So this is how a training program is developed. First we have to identify the task, that is task analysis. Then develop a training procedure and evaluate the training program. So with this, we finish the concept called training in industrial psychology. Going further, let us now understand what is counseling. Personal counseling is defined as a discussion of an emotional problem within an employee with the general objective of reducing it so that the performance is maintained at adequate level or even improved upon. Counseling is that interaction which occurs between two individuals called counselor and client. It takes place in professional setting. It is initiated and maintained to facilitate changes in the behavior of client. It is a significant part of industrial scene. Training counseling it is not only one-to-one conversation between employee and industrial psychologist, and it does not limit counseling to professional staff only, but managers, administrators, supervisors, anyone can perform counseling. There are several implications, like it deals with emotional problems. It is to understand or reduce the employee's emotional problems. It is about discussion, the act of communication. It is only a one to one conversation. There is actually a need for counseling. There are various purposes or needs for counseling. Like here it is given. It, it gives assistance, development, vast information, inspiration, solution, encouragement. Emotions are a part of human beings. Emotional upsets are part of our lives. The experience of psychologists confirm that it is sometimes more disastrous to suppress emotions. It is, however, the emotional upsets which can cause employees to do things which are harmful. It may make feel leave or look for opportunity to leave the company because of a trivial conflict which seems large to them. There could be various ways of counseling needs. Sometimes conflicts could arise. Sometimes there could be a stress condition. There are various forms of counseling too. Directive counseling and non-directive counseling. Directive counseling is the process of hearing the personal problem directly, but non-directive counseling is skillfully encouraging the client to explain the problem. But and also one more method of counseling is cooperative counseling, where practically applicable and more readily suitable to managerial attitudes and temperament counseling is assessed. It is called cooperative counseling because it is wholly client centered or wholly counselor centered, but rather the client and the counselor mutually cooperate to apply their different knowledge, perspective, and values to the problems. So, this is about the purpose of counseling, the need for counseling, and also the various types of counseling. Going further, let us now discuss the steps in the counseling process. When problems arise, then the counseling process starts. There are certain steps in counseling process which remain common for any counseling. Usually, the counseling starts with the following three steps. First one is initiating, developing mutual understanding, openness, and acceptance. It is termed as rapport building. Second one is exploration, which involves understanding with the help of the counselee's own situation, his feelings, his strengths and weaknesses, his problems and needs. Here, the counselor lies in making the counselee discover his own shortcomings, his weaknesses, and size up his problem in the light of mutuality of the organizational situation. The third step is action plan for improved task performance in the organization. The counseling to be useful must culminate in formulation of an action plan, which the employee is led to evolve and commit to. It may, however, take more than one session. Sometimes it may lead to many sessions. And at the end of each session, the action plan following that may be worked out. So, this is how counseling process moves. So, now with this, we finish the concept of counseling. Going further, let us now discuss about promotions. So, what is a promotion? Why is there need for promotion? Usually when employees work in an organization, they feel that whatever they are drawing salaries or monetary compensation is not enough. They always want something better. So promotion is a type of improvement in the job standard. So promotion refers to upward movement in present job, leading to greater responsibilities, higher status, and better salary. There is one small definition given by Claudia. Promotion is the transfer of an employee to a job which pays more money or one that carries some preferred status. Promotion is nothing but it's a vertical movement of an employee within the organization. In other words, promotion refers to the upward movement of an employee from one job to another higher one with increase in salary, status, and responsibilities. Promotion may be temporary. It could be permanent depending on the needs of the organization. There can be dry promotion also, where an employee is given a higher level job without any increase in pay. An example of dry promotion may be university professors or head of the departments. Promotion has an inbuilt motivational value as it elevates the authority, power, and status of promotions from within because such promotions provide an inducement and motivation to the employees and also remove feelings of stagnation and frustration. So, promotion is all about transferring an employee to a job. Let us now see what are the various types of promotions. Basically, there are three types of promotions: horizontal promotion, vertical promotion, and dry promotion. Promotion given to the employees can be classified like this. Horizontal promotion is when an employee is shifted in the same category, it is called horizontal promotion. A junior clerk promoted to senior clerk is such an example. It is important to note that such promotion may take place when an employee shifts within the same department from one department to other or from one plant to another plant. Vertical promotion. This is the kind of promotion when an employee is promoted from a lower category to a lower category involving increase in salary, status, higher category involving increase in salary, status, authority, and responsibility. This is called vertical promotion from junior clerk to clerk or senior clerk. Dry promotion. When promotion is made without any increase in salary, it is called dry promotion. For example, a lower level manager is promoted to senior level manager without increase in salary or pay. Such promotions is made either there is resource fund crunch in the organization or some employees hanker more for status or authority than money. Now, going further, what are the purposes of promotion? Why do we need promotion? Why employees strive for promotion? It is to recognize an employee's skills and knowledge and utilize it to improve the organizational effectiveness. It helps in rewarding and motivating employees to higher productivity. It develops a competitive spirit and inculcates the enthusiasm and zeal in the employees to acquire skills, knowledge, etc. It promotes employee satisfaction and boosts their morale. It builds loyalty among the employees towards the organization. It promotes good human relations. It increases the sense of belongingness. It retains skilled and talented people. It attracts trained, competent, and hardworking people. It impresses other employees that opportunities are available to them if they perform better. So, therefore, promotion actually helps an employee to achieve the objectives of the organization as well as his own individual objectives. So, with this, we finish our session today. So, let us go back and recap what we have done. So, today we have discussed about training, then the importance of training, definition and meaning of training, types of training, the guidelines for drawing an effective training program, how to develop a training program, what the steps involved. Then we discussed about counseling, types of counseling, need and purposes of counseling, what are the steps in the counseling process. Then we discussed about promotions and what is the purpose of promotions and also types of promotions. So with this we finish our fourth part of unit 2.